Phrasal verb 1. Blow out. It means sudden extinguishing of flames or candles.
Example 1. After making a wish, I blew out the candles on my birthday cake. Example 2. To create a romantic atmosphere, she blew out all the candles in the room. Example 3. The wind was so strong that it blew out the campfire. Quote.
Phrasal verb 2. Break in. It means entering forcibly or unlawfully into a place.
Example 1. The burglar tried to break in through the back door of the house. Example 2. We had to call the locksmith because we accidentally locked ourselves out and couldn't break in. Example 3. The police arrested the suspect for attempting to break into a local store. Quote.
Phrasal verb 3. Call up. It means summon or contact someone by phone.
Example 1. I need to call up my friend to invite him to the party. Example 2. She called up her parents to let them know she arrived safely. Example 3. The manager called up the employee to discuss the upcoming meeting. Quote.
Phrasal verb 4. Carry over. It means transfer or extend something to another time or place.
Example 1. I couldn't finish my work today, so I will carry it over to tomorrow. Example 2. The unused vacation days can be carried over to the following year. Example 3. The rain from yesterday carried over into today, making everything wet. Quote.
Phrasal verb 5. Check over. It means review or examine something carefully.
Example 1. Before submitting the report, make sure to check it over for any errors. Example 2. She checked over her homework to ensure she hadn't missed any questions. Example 3. The teacher checked over the students' exams to grade them accurately. Quote.
Phrasal verb 6. Clear up. It means resolve or improve a situation or misunderstanding.
Example 1. I had a misunderstanding with my friend, but we talked and cleared it up. Example 2. The doctor prescribed medication that cleared up my skin condition. Example 3. The rain finally cleared up, and we could go outside to play. Quote.
Phrasal verb 7. Come along. It means join or accompany someone or something.
Example 1. Are you ready? Let's go. Come along with me to the park. Example 2. I invited my sister to the concert, and she happily agreed to come along. Example 3. The dog saw the children playing and decided to come along and join in the fun. Quote.
Phrasal verb 8. Come forward. It means step forward or volunteer for something.
Example 1. The teacher asked for a volunteer to come forward and share their opinion with the class. Example 2. When the coach called for new team members, John mustered up the courage to come forward and join the tryouts. Example 3. In times of crisis, it's important for witnesses to come forward and provide information to the authorities.
Phrasal verb 9. Come in. It means enter or join a place.
Example 1. As soon as I knocked on the door, the host invited me to come in and make myself comfortable. Example 2. The teacher opened the classroom door and warmly welcomed the new student, saying, "Come in and find a seat." Example 3. The bellboy at the hotel greeted the guests and kindly said, "Please come in and allow me to assist you with your luggage." Quote.
Phrasal verb 10. Come over. It means visit someone at their location.
Example 1. My friend invited me to come over to her house and spend the afternoon playing games. Example 2. When I heard that my grandparents were feeling lonely, I decided to come over and keep them company. Example 3. Sarah asked her classmates if they would like to come over to her place and study together for the upcoming exam.
Phrasal verb 11. Cross out. It means mark or delete with a line.
Example 1. The teacher asked us to cross out any spelling mistakes in our essays before submitting them. Example 2. I accidentally wrote the wrong answer on my math test, so I had to cross it out and provide the correct one. Example 3. The editor reviewed the draft and decided to cross out a paragraph that was not relevant to the main topic.
Phrasal verb 12. Cut back. It means reduce or decrease something.
Example 1. Due to financial constraints, we had to cut back on our vacation plans and opt for a shorter trip. Example 2. The doctor advised me to cut back on sugary foods and drinks to improve my overall health. Example 3. In order to save money, the company decided to cut back on unnecessary expenses such as office supplies and business trips.
Phrasal verb 13. Do up. It means fasten or secure something.
Example 1. She used a ribbon to do up her hair in a neat ponytail. Example 2. Please do up your seatbelt before the car starts moving. Example 3. After washing the dishes, he did up the apron around his waist to keep himself clean while cooking.
Phrasal verb 14. Draw out. It means protract or extend something.
Example 1. The dentist used a pair of tweezers to draw out the loose tooth from the child's mouth. Example 2. The mechanic had to draw out the damaged bolt from the engine in order to replace it with a new one. Example 3. She reached into her bag and drew out a pen to take notes during the meeting.
Phrasal verb 15. Eat up. It means to finish eating all of something.
Example 1. The mother told her child to eat up all the vegetables on their plate before leaving the table. Example 2. The hungry dog eagerly ate up the food in its bowl in just a few seconds. Example 3. Before the party started, the guests were encouraged to eat up the appetizers that were served.
Phrasal verb 16. Face off. It means to confront or engage in a confrontation.
Example 1. The two boxers stepped into the ring to face off against each other in a highly anticipated match. Example 2. The opposing teams faced off on the soccer field, ready to compete for the championship title. Example 3. Tensions escalated between the rival gang members, and they decided to face off in a neighborhood showdown.
Phrasal verb 17. Fall back. It means to retreat or withdraw.
Example 1. The army was forced to fall back after encountering heavy resistance from the enemy forces. Example 2. When the hikers realized they were going in the wrong direction, they had to fall back and find the correct trail. Example 3. The company had to fall back on its backup plan when the original strategy didn't yield the expected results.
Phrasal verb 18. Figure in. It means to consider or factor into a situation.
Example 1. When planning the budget, we need to figure in the cost of materials and labor. Example 2. The coach figures in the strengths and weaknesses of each player when deciding the team lineup. Example 3. Before making a decision, it's important to figure in the potential risks and benefits of each option.
Phrasal verb 19. Fill up. It means to completely fill something with substance.
Example 1. Please fill up my glass with water. Example 2. Don't forget to fill up the gas tank before going on a long drive. Example 3. The heavy rain filled up the empty buckets in the backyard.
Phrasal verb 20. Find off. It means to successfully defend or repel.
Example 1. The brave knight managed to find off the enemy's attack with his sword. Example 2. The security guard found off the intruders, preventing them from entering the building. Example 3. She used pepper spray to find off the aggressive dog that was approaching her.
Phrasal verb 21. Get ahead. It means to make progress or succeed.
Example 1. If you study hard, you can get ahead in your academic career. Example 2. Jane worked diligently to get ahead in her professional life and secure a promotion. Example 3. Saving money consistently can help you get ahead financially and achieve your goals.
Phrasal verb 22. Get back at. It means to seek revenge or retaliate against.
Example 1. Tim was upset with his friend, so he planned to get back at him by playing a prank. Example 2. Jenny wanted to get back at her sibling for breaking her favorite toy, so she hid their video game controller. Example 3. Instead of getting back at her coworker for taking credit for her work, Sarah decided to address the issue directly with her supervisor.
Phrasal verb 23. Get down. It means to descend or lower oneself.
Example 1. The cat climbed up the tree and then couldn't figure out how to get down. Example 2. The children slid down the playground slide, laughing and having fun. Example 3. Before entering the cave, they had to get down on their hands and knees to crawl through the narrow opening.
Phrasal verb 24. Give away. It means to distribute or present as a gift.
Example 1. She decided to give away her old clothes to charity. Example 2. The company organized a contest and gave away free tickets to a concert. Example 3. My grandmother often gives away homemade cookies to our neighbors during the holidays.
Phrasal verb 25. Go off on. It means to angrily or vehemently criticize.
Example 1. When John accidentally broke the vase, his mother went off on him, scolding him loudly. Example 2. The boss went off on the employee for repeatedly making mistakes on the project. Example 3. Sarah was surprised when her friend suddenly went off on her, accusing her of something she didn't do.
Phrasal verb 26. Go overboard. It means to exceed the appropriate or expected limit.
Example 1. Tom loves chocolate cake so much that he always goes overboard and eats the whole cake in one sitting. Example 2. The party decorations were so extravagant that some felt the host had gone overboard with the expenses. Example 3. Sally wanted to impress her date and went overboard with her outfit, wearing a flashy dress and excessive jewelry.
Phrasal verb 27. Go through. It means to experience or undergo something.
Example 1. Sarah had to go through a difficult surgery to remove her appendix. Example 2. John went through a lot of stress while preparing for his final exams. Example 3. The family went through a challenging period of financial hardship, but they managed to overcome it.
Phrasal verb 28. Go without. It means to lack or not have something.
Example 1. We ran out of milk, so we had to go without it in our morning coffee. Example 2. Due to the power outage, the entire neighborhood had to go without electricity for several hours. Example 3. Sarah forgot her lunch at home, so she had to go without food until dinner.
Phrasal verb 29. Grow into. It means to develop or mature into.
Example 1. The little puppy will eventually grow into a big and strong dog. Example 2. As she gained experience and knowledge, she grew into a confident and capable leader. Example 3. The young girl's clothes were slightly big for her, but she would eventually grow into them.
Phrasal verb 30. Hand back. It means to return or give back.
Example 1. After finishing the book, she handed it back to the library. Example 2. The teacher collected the homework assignments and handed them back to the students after grading. Example 3. He borrowed his friend's pen and promised to hand it back the next day.
Phrasal verb 31. Hang up on. It means to abruptly end a phone call.
Example 1. I accidentally hung up on my friend while trying to switch to speakerphone. Example 2. Frustrated with the telemarketer, she decided to hang up on them mid-conversation. Example 3. The call dropped suddenly, and they thought the other person had intentionally hung up on them.
Phrasal verb 32. Hold back. It means to restrain or keep from proceeding.
Example 1. The teacher had to hold back the students from leaving the classroom until the bell rang. Example 2. Despite feeling the urge to cry, she tried to hold back her tears in front of others. Example 3. The company decided to hold back the release of the new product until further improvements were made.
Phrasal verb 3-3, keep off. It means, avoid touching or stepping on.
Example 1. Please keep off the freshly painted floor to prevent smudges. Example 2. The sign clearly says, keep off the grass, so stay on the designated path. Example 3. Keep off the fragile glassware to avoid any accidental breakage.
Phrasal verb 34, knock out. It means, make someone fall asleep or unconscious.
Example 1. The boxer delivered a powerful punch that knocked out his opponent in the first round. Example 2. After a long day of work, the soothing music helped to knock me out, and I fell asleep quickly. Example 3. The anesthesia at the dentist's office made me feel drowsy, and before I knew it, they had knocked me out for the procedure.
Phrasal verb 35, let off. It means, release or allow someone to leave.
Example 1. The teacher decided to let off the students early as a reward for their hard work. Example 2. The police officer let off the speeding driver with a warning instead of giving them a ticket. Example 3. After a long day at work, my boss let me off early so I could attend a family event.
Phrasal verb 36, look ahead. It means, focus on the future or anticipate.
Example 1. It's important to look ahead and plan for your future goals and aspirations. Example 2. While driving, always remember to look ahead to anticipate any potential hazards or obstacles on the road. Example 3. Despite facing challenges, she kept her head up and looked ahead, determined to achieve success.
Phrasal verb 37, look back. It means, reflect on the past or reminisce.
Example 1. On her graduation day, she couldn't help but look back at all the hard work and memories that led to this moment. Example 2. As he reached the end of his career, he took a moment to look back and appreciate all the accomplishments he had achieved. Example 3. When you're feeling down, it can be helpful to look back on happy memories to uplift your spirits.
Phrasal verb 38, look down on. It means, hold a negative opinion of.
Example 1. She always looked down on her younger siblings, thinking she was superior to them. Example 2. Some people tend to look down on those who have different cultural backgrounds or lifestyles. Example 3. It's not fair to look down on someone just because they have a different level of education or occupation.
Phrasal verb 39, look forward to. It means, anticipate or be excited about.
Example 1. I look forward to spending my vacation at the beach and relaxing under the sun. Example 2. She looks forward to receiving her exam results, hoping for a good outcome. Example 3. We all look forward to the weekend, as it gives us a chance to unwind and spend time with loved ones.
Phrasal verb 40, check up on. It means, monitor or investigate someone's well-being.
Example 1. I decided to check up on my elderly neighbor to see if she needed any assistance. Example 2. My parents often check up on me during my exams to make sure I'm studying and managing my stress. Example 3. Sarah called to check up on her friend after hearing about their recent illness, to see how they were feeling.
Phrasal verb 41, clear away. It means, remove or tidy up.
Example 1. After dinner, I cleared away the dishes and put them in the sink to wash. Example 2. The janitor cleared away the trash from the hallway, keeping the area clean and neat. Example 3. We cleared away the clutter from the living room to create more space for our guests.
Phrasal verb 42, make out. It means, to perceive or understand something, often with difficulty.
Example 1. The writing on the old sign was faded, but I could just make out the name of the street. Example 2. It was dark in the room, but I could make out the silhouette of a figure standing in the corner. Example 3. The audio quality of the recording was poor, but I could still make out a few words here and there.
Phrasal verb 43. Mix in. It means to combine or blend with others.
Example 1. Sarah asked if she could mix in with the group of friends sitting at the picnic table. Example 2. The recipe instructed to gradually mix in the flour with the other ingredients to form the dough. Example 3. John felt a bit shy at the party, but his outgoing friend encouraged him to mix in and meet new people.
Phrasal verb 44. Pass on. It means to transmit or convey something to someone else.
Example 1. Sarah asked me to pass on the message to John that the meeting has been rescheduled. Example 2. When I finished reading the book, I decided to pass it on to my friend so she could enjoy it too. Example 3. The teacher asked the students to pass on their completed assignments to the front of the classroom.
Phrasal verb 45. Pay off. It means to be successful or yield positive results.
Example 1. After years of hard work and dedication, John's efforts finally paid off when he received a promotion at work. Example 2. The team's training and strategy paid off as they won the championship game. Example 3. Sarah's investment in stocks paid off when she sold them at a higher price, earning a significant profit.
Phrasal verb 46. Pick out. It means to choose or select something from a group.
Example 1. Sarah went to the store to pick out a new dress for the party. Example 2. John carefully picked out the best apples from the basket at the grocery store. Example 3. The children were excited to pick out their favorite toys from the toy store.
Phrasal verb 47. Play around. It means to engage in aimless or casual activities without a specific purpose.
Example 1. Instead of studying, Sarah decided to play around with her phone, browsing social media and playing games. Example 2. The children enjoyed playing around in the park, running, jumping, and exploring without a set agenda. Example 3. John often procrastinated by playing around with different hobbies, never fully committing to any of them.
Phrasal verb 48. Point to. It means to indicate or suggest something.
Example 1. The evidence collected at the crime scene pointed to the suspect's involvement in the robbery. Example 2. Sarah's behavior and body language pointed to her nervousness during the job interview. Example 3. The data from the study pointed to a correlation between exercise and improved mental health.